Who's the fastest kid on the block? We're about to find out in a good old-fashioned foot race here. It's the third event for the individuals at the 2021 NOBULL CrossFit Games. We've had two very different tests on two very different ends of the spectrums here. Now this one probably fits right in the middle.
Absolutely. We went long in event one, and then we had that mixed modality classic time frame with 8 to 12 minutes in event number 2, and now we have a single modality sprint. Just pure monostructural, pure anaerobic intensity from start to finish.
Third of 4 heats underway. Time to beat 117.07 seconds. Belongs to Luka Jukic. Did that in the prior heat. And Pat Vellner looking to move out front early. Will Morad also there as well. Malheiros in the sunglasses behind the two of them. And Cole Sager working his way on the inside, trying to get around Saxon Panchik. And don't be surprised if you see a little football swim move from Cole Sager at some point during this race. But it's Malheiros right now who is out front, ahead of both Will Morad and Pat Vellner.
The move doesn't have to be here, right? We have that near 300 to 350 meter straightaway right at the beginning.
Vellner on the outside has pulled even with Malheiros, Will Morad, and Andre Uday now. Uday making a move in the gray shirt. He has moved into third place ahead of Morad.
Hey, but I'm impressed with Vellner so far. I'm curious to see if he can hold on here in the last 100 to 200 meters.
117.07 seconds. That is the top time. Malheiros is trying to hold off Pat Vellner. Vellner is in front. Will Morad starting to open things up. Malheiros back in front of Vellner. Here comes Morad. Morad threatening to track down Pat Vellner. Malheiros all by himself in first. Saxon Panchik on the outside trying to close the gap. It's Malheiros followed by Morad and possibly Vellner. That was close. Andre Uday and Saxon Panchik were close behind them. There goes Cole Sager. Will Morad does win the race between himself and Pat Vellner, but Vellner right now in third place in the event. Malheiros, a new time to beat at 115.37 seconds. Morad is in second place, 0.2 of a second behind him, and then it's Pat Vellner, another 0.2 of a second behind Will Morad. One heat remaining. It's Malheiros who has the time to beat at 115.37 seconds. Your top 3 times, all from that prior heat. Will Morad right behind him, Pat Vellner in third, and then Saxon Panchik and Andre Uday. So the fastest heat that we have seen so far in heat number 3, and now the men who are in the top spots in the overall leaderboard, including the man who's leading, number 30 in the red shorts, Fikowski, fourth and final heat for them. Final heat is underway, 115.37 seconds. Malheiros has the time to beat. Sam Cornier looks like he's out front early. Brent Fikowski passing him. Alex Vigneault as the Canadians battling up front. Heinrich Happelainen is on the inside with no shirt on. Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundsson, number 28, black shorts, up towards the front as well. But it's Fikowski and Vigneault out front early, and now Sam Cornier working his way through the pack and trying to get towards the front. Vigneault out front, followed by Cornier and Fikowski. So an all-Canadian affair here in the top 3.
Alex Vigneault, I mean, how many more surprises are we going to see from you in the first 3 events? Great swim to start the morning and now leading the pack at the halfway point of this event.
Vigneault is in 6th place overall, 24 points off the lead. Scott Panchik is way in the back. Don't know if he's cramped up a little bit, but now the final turn into the North Park. Vigneault's in front, followed by Brent Fikowski. Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundsson putting on a kick. And Gudmundsson saved his best for last, and Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundsson is going to take the heat. Fikowski and Koski were there close in second place, but the top times all still coming from heat number 3, and that is big for Pat Vellner.
That's exactly what I was saying beforehand. This was actually one of the slowest heats of the 4 that we've had so far because Gudmundsson's time is just 1:17.
Scott Panchik came across at 1:33. That is going to be close to the bottom, if not the worst time that we have seen in the heat right now. It's or in the event, 34th for him.
And that's not an event that Panchik is supposed to be bad at. So I'm curious to kind of see whether it was just a pacing error or something else is going on with Scott Panchik.
Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundsson wins that heat but only finishes in 8th place in the event. 1:17.68 seconds. Malheiros is going to pick up the event win, his first as an individual at the CrossFit Games. Will Morad with 97 points will finish second, and Pat Vellner, after an event win in event 2, he will get 94 points for event 3, and the good news for him, beats everybody who was ahead of him pretty much in the overall standing, so he will continue his climb up the overall leaderboard after that 35th place finish. Women coming up next. 10 athletes getting set here, including Danny Spiegel, the former 2-time champ, Catherine Davidsdottir, and Brooke Wells.
Now, these are two athletes that really need to have a good race. Not really the best finish for Catherine Davidsdottir in event number 2. A decent finish in event number 1, but Wells has had a very underwhelming first 2 events. But you're talking about the track background for Brooke Wells. That should play in a factor. This is going to be a little redemption from her from 2019. Catherine has decent speed, not top-end speed. But again, this isn't just a full send sprint. This takes a lot of pacing and strategy, where to push and how to finish towards the end of this sprint.
Third heat is underway. 1:27.20 seconds is the time to beat Catherine Davidsdottir. Trying to keep pace with Brooke Wells, who is out front early.
Said Brooke has the speed. She has the experience. She was a track athlete before she started CrossFit.
It's Wells followed by Davidsdottir. Bailey Rail behind Davidsdottir.
Now here's where it ticks slightly up before we get to that first turn. And as you get this first turn is where it'll start to go back down. But look at the lead Wells has put on Davidsdottir, and Davidsdottir has a decent lead on the rest of the field behind her.
A lot of separation in this heat. Brooke Wells is first, Catherine Davidsdottir sits in second. Bailey Rail and Gabby Magala fighting for third place.
Wells desperately needs a top 3 finish in this event.
1:27.20 seconds is the time to beat. Brooke Wells makes the turn into the North Park all by herself. Catherine Davidsdottir trying to close the gap. She's not going to have enough time. Brooke Wells is going to take the heat, but now can she beat Danielle Brandon's time? And Brooke Wells is going to do it. Catherine Davidsdottir may have a shot at it. Gabby Magala is going to edge out Rail at the finish line. And it's Emma Carey to close out the heat. But Brooke Wells, 1:24.43 seconds. Danielle Brandon now in second place as Catherine Davidsdottir is in third place in the event. 1:27.49, so about 0.3 of a second between Davidsdottir and Danielle Brandon. And Gabriella Magala is in fourth, Bailey Rail in fifth. Brooke Wells now your new top time at 1:24.43 seconds with 1 heat remaining. Fifth and final heat, and your overall leaders coming into this event will be on the course. Tia Toomey looking to go 3 for 3. She's already been perfect through the first 2 events. The second straight time that she's done that at the CrossFit Games.
And she's poised for a third. We're talking about who has the track background. It's Tia Toomey. That's what she actually was training to go to the Olympics for back when she started her athletic career. Ended up doing it in weightlifting, and now she's your 4-time CrossFit Games champion. But don't count out Kristen Holta, who's sitting on the left side of your screen. She is one of the best sprinters in the women's division.
Final heat of event 3 for the women is underway, and it's Brooke Wells, who just put up the top time in the prior heat at 1:24.43 seconds. Tia Toomey and Haley Adams out front early. Here comes Kristen Holta making a move. As you see the time to beat in the bottom left part of your screen, Chrissy Aramo O'Connell now moving up front. Now, how many times have we seen Chrissy Aramo O'Connell and Tia Toomey in a foot race?
Especially in here in Madison on this course. Now they just happen to be running the opposite direction and a little bit shorter and a lot faster. Haley Adams still keeping pace with Tia Toomey. Keep your eye on Kristen Holta. Now Holta has always done well in multi-direction sprints. And so that is actually a skill when it's within itself, as so is this straight shot. But with Toomey's background, she is very familiar with races at this distance.
Toomey leads Haley Adams. Adams ahead of Christy Aramo O'Connell, and Haley Adams trying to separate herself from everyone chasing her in the overall standings. Adams second place overall, just 24 points back at Tia Toomey, but only a 3-point lead on Laura Horvath as Toomey makes the turn. 1:24.43 seconds. That's the time to beat. Tia Toomey looking for her third straight event win. And Toomey may have done it. We're gonna have to go to the chip. Adams is second. Holta is in. Thorasdotter and Barnhart are across. And Tia Toomey, 3-4-3. 1:24.17 seconds to edge out Brooke Wells. 300 points for Tia Toomey after 3 events.
That is just absolutely ridiculous. We saw something similar last year, but that was in a field of 5. This is in a field of 35. Different skill sets, different strengths, women from all backgrounds, and she just went first, second, and third, back-to-back-to-back wins of those events in all different types of tests.
Tia Toomey has now won 27 of 89 events in which she has competed at the CrossFit Games, just edging out Brooke Wells, but that is a great result for Brooke Wells. She'll get 97 points, and Haley Adams is going to increase her lead over Laura Horvath for second place. We're going to head inside to the Coliseum for our next event. An unknown test awaits in event 4. Back in a little bit here at the 2021 NOBULL CrossFit Games.